Hi, Irene. Congratulations. It's so beautiful, your documentary. It's so emotional, so hard to watch in some moments.
Mhm.
And how hard was for you and emotional making this movie?
Mm. It was, yes, it was very emotional. It was very uh challenging. Uh, but I think it's very important for me as a filmmaker that I keep a certain degree of distance from what's happening in front of me because I do want to keep my intellect working at all times. And it can't just come from the heart. It has to really come from like the gut, your instinct, your experience, and also constantly thinking about how will I put all this information together? Because it's not just words, it's pictures and it's sounds and it's tones. So it was very challenging for sure.
Wow, I can imagine. And how did you meet her and how did you get her trust to show everything?
Well, I think for starters, she really decided before we embarked on this together. I think she decided and she told me that she was going to just really let me in. So she said, you can come to my home. I don't leave my home. So we only left her home in 1 year, like 4 times. And so I don't know exactly how she decided to trust me. I think we got to know each other before the cameras came in. So that helped her know, yeah, I think I can talk to this person. And it helped me know, yeah, I think this person's going to be pretty authentic with me. So maybe this will be a good fit because I really didn't want to make a film with someone who already like had an idea of what the film should be and what they should look like. And, I didn't want to do something like that. I wanted to do something that I had to work. I had to work hard to figure out who this person was, so a lot of it was her openness combined with my genuine search for the authentic person behind the superstardom.
Hmm. And how involved was she in the creative process?
She was not involved at all, except for two things. The first was she asked me very early, before we even agreed to work together, if it would be possible, would I be interested? Would it be stylistically possible to make a film where no one else talked about her, but only she talked about herself? She said, what if my voice was the only voice in the movie? And I said, well, that's a great idea. And I'm totally on board, but you will have to give me a lot of your time. So that was the one big thing. That's a big overarching thing. But she never micromanaged me.
Uh-huh.
She never asked me, what are you going to do about the composer? How are you going to style the film? What are you going to do? What archives are you going to use? She never asked me anything. I almost thought at first I thought maybe she doesn't care. She did care, but I think when Celine picks someone to be her backup musician or her manager or her person who's going to do her personal assistance or her designer, she picks them wisely and then she lets them do what they do well. So I was very grateful for that because that is her trusting me. That is really her trusting me. The only other thing that she got involved in was very late in the process. We were almost done editing the film and she had actually already seen my director's cut. So it was after she said, I don't need you to change I don't want to ask you to change anything. Um, Even the medical scene, she said, please do not cut it down, leave it as it was. But I asked her if she would help me do some sound design in the film because I was trying to create a montage of what it might seem like to have stiff person syndrome. So the only time in the film when other people talk about her is when you hear newscasters from all these different countries around the world announcing on their newscast that Celine has stiff person syndrome. So I decided to make it an auditory montage. And so I said, can you describe for me? So I got her on FaceTime and we talked for a long time, like 2 hours, about what it feels like. And we had already finished filming. we were almost finished with the film. And so she described to me, she used metaphors and she told me things that helped me and my editor and my sound designer create what I would call a very poetic, artistic, and harrowing uh, sound that might give you that feeling of suffocating, or sounds coming in and out. And there's, like, she used the word electrical storm, in her head. So those were just the two things, but the first one was very big one, because without her willingness to give me so much time, you really cannot make a film about someone unless you have an enormous amount of archive of them. They really have to give you a lot of their time.
Yeah, and it is perfect. Thank
Oh,
you so much. Congratulations again. It is amazing. Congratulations.
thank you so much.
Bye.